Hi everyone, this is Telemachus, and recently I released this tool called Villain, which among other things is a backdoor payload generator. When it comes to Windows, I included an option to automatically obfuscate the generated payloads, which I kind of regret because I have this theory that due to the regular usage of the tool by numerous users, instead of actually avoiding detection, it is training antiviruses to catch multiple variations of the generated payloads. But let's not be script kiddies and expect this or any other tool perform evasion for us. Let's proceed with a few examples on how to bypass signature-based detection using villain-generated payloads without relying on the auto-obfuscate function. I'm going to start villain and generate a Windows backdoor payload without using the auto-obfuscate function. It's copied straight to my clipboard, and then I'm just gonna save this into a file. I'm gonna name this payload. I'm gonna save it right in here, and I'm gonna move this file in this folder with the same name, for which I have added an exception on Microsoft Defender to not scan it for now, because it would complain. And what I want to do is run AMSI trigger against this payload, and you can download this tool from this repository, and it's gonna highlight for us the part in this payload that is actually getting flagged, which is really useful. I'm gonna open PowerShell here, and I'm just going to run AMSI trigger against this file with the format option set to 3, because this is gonna return the whole payload, and it will also highlight with red color the part that is flagged. And with this information we can begin changing part in this red area to eventually find a variation that is not getting detected. The security intelligence on my system updated earlier today, which is the 1st of December 2022, and the shields are all up. And if, of course, let's separate our execution window from the one that we have this highlighted payload. If I execute this, it will be flagged as malicious. So now that we have this information right here, let's start messing with things in this red area, and I'm pretty sure we can find many creative ways to bypass this. So the first thing I see, and I believe is one of the easiest things you can do, since everything starts with this HTTP string right here, we can probably bypass detection if we just move this variable, because it doesn't really need to be there. We can just move it to the beginning of the script, and we will delete it from this place. And hopefully, if I run this now, we're gonna get a backdoor session, and here's my shields. And I think it's pretty easy when you have an idea what you're doing, and with an idea I mean, okay, we have some intelligence here from this tool telling us, okay, this is what you should take care of. The next component I see here, and I think it's pretty easy to mess with, edit it a bit, replace it with something else, substitute it, and avoid detection, is this endless loop. Basically, this is a while true loop, let's say, or at least an equivalent of a while true loop. It's essential for this payload because it's basically an endless loop that is sending requests all the time for commands that the attacker have issued, and if you have issued a command, it grabs it and executes it and sends the response back to the attacking server. So I'm going to generate a new payload because we already have this first session from the example we just did. So I'm gonna grab this fresh payload without any changes. The HTTP string is at its original place, and I'm going to mess with this loop. And I'm not gonna do just while true, because actually it used to be like this, and I changed it to this because it started getting flagged. So I'm just gonna do something else that is equivalent with while true, and the easiest one would be do while. Mainly this is what this means, and the while comes to the part that you want to be the end of this loop. So maybe this will also work. We also got another session and we're up and running, and it's pretty simple, but there are other things we can try as well. And I'm gonna again clear this. I'm gonna generate again new payload. We start over, Another equivalent of that, as you probably have guessed, is the very famous I, usually it's I in every example, equals some value, let's say 0, and then it's a condition. This variable that I named xxx, let's say, is less than 1, and here's what's gonna happen. And if we just, usually this is like plus plus to advance this variable's value in every iteration, but we don't need to advance it. If we just do this, it will just be an endless loop, and I'm pretty sure it will probably have the same effect. And we get another backdoor session. We're still running, but there's still more we can do with this. I'm pretty sure. I will just grab another payload, fresh, no changes from the beginning. Another equivalent would be, maybe we can just find a weird, we can do just while true, but instead of just saying, hey, this is true, which will be flagged, we will find a crazy value for true. And that could be something like, let's cast a boolean type here against something that is false. This would be false if we just executed it somewhere. And we can reverse this with the exclamation mark, and this now means true, and maybe, yeah, we did it again. I believe we have many sessions now. We have done like 4 variations, and here's our backdoor sessions. I've generated another new payload. We're starting over. This time let's start messing with maybe commandlet parameters, like this. Okay, the URI we cannot change for sure, but maybe there is something we can change in here, and we're doing invoke rest method. And okay, this use basic parsing, for example. I don't even remember actually why I put this in the payload. I don't remember anymore what it does exactly. So invoke rest method. Let's go see in the documentation what is this doing. Okay, this parameter has been deprecated beginning with PowerShell 6. All web requests use basic parsing only. So probably this is not even needed anymore. And when something is not needed, there's no reason to be there. And maybe if it's not there, and this appears a few times in this payload, I believe. Is it somewhere else and I don't see it? No, I don't think so, but okay, maybe it will work. We just deleted this this variable and it actually worked. Maybe we can also add one, for example, and this is again, no, we need a new payload. We're gonna generate, and if I paste this here, I'm not gonna delete this use basic parsing. Let's keep everything as it is. I'm just gonna do user agent, is it? Yes, user agent, and we're gonna parse a user agent that is gonna be called please subscribe. And maybe, yeah, even that breaks the signature of this thing. Another way to bypass this. And let's clear everything up and do one more. Let's see how much we have collected. Okay, we're doing good. One more. We're gonna paste this here and okay. We need to alter a little bit the logic of this thing, and we know that the red part starts here and ends here at the join statement. So maybe we can just put a needless if statement somewhere. For example, in this HTTP, okay, here, in this HTTP string declaration, maybe we can just make this an if something very stupid like 1 equals 2, do something like exit, for example, else declare this variable. Maybe we will add this part, which is, it doesn't really change much, but no, it didn't work. Okay, let's play a little bit with this. If 1 equals to exit, else... Okay, what if we just broaden the scope of this thing? Maybe we can just add also this first request that's happening in the scope of this if else. No. Okay, I'm just gonna clear and start over. I don't like the position we chose because this starts kind of outside the area that is marked as malicious. So I'm gonna delete this from here. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do this one more time because I think I confused everyone here, including myself, mostly myself. So let's move in an area that is closer to it's completely inside the red area. So let's do this here. If 1 equals to exit, else perform this web request. And yeah, now, okay, this was probably much more significant from a signature perspective because it was entirely inside this red area that we analyzed with AMSI trigger, and we have quite a few sessions here. I could expand the functionality of the auto-obfuscate function or update the payload templates and maintain the backdoors generated by villain undetected, but that would eventually diminish the usability of this tool. It is much better to share these ideas of avoiding detection on your own, that needless to say you can use along with many other techniques to obfuscate payloads written in any programming language.